Good evening, everyone. This is Jomar Floyd reporting live here at COP21. This afternoon, I have a great pleasure and honor to meet a young professional who's from Florida, my home state. Can you state your name, sir?
Yeah, my name is David Townsend. I'm from the University of South Florida. Go Bulls.
Go Bulls. Awesome. And so, David, did I say that correctly? David, what is your perspective on COP21 and the role that young leaders play in this movement, climate change movement?
Well, COP21 is essential. I mean, if we can't develop a legal framework coming out of COP21, there's not very many other opportunities. The amount of momentum, the amount of international consensus around climate change, the agreement that it is fact is happening. There is the scientific community supporting that. There is the general population that support a transition to clean energy. So the momentum's there, and we need to get it done. So I'm cautiously optimistic that something legally binding is going to come out of it. It's crucial that is what happens. So we set up transparent policies, we set up good financial mechanisms to help the developing nations transition, and that we help we help the developed nations realize that they need to actually transition. They're the ones that need the biggest overhaul, and not to focus so much on just developing nations, but to actually clean up themselves too.
And so, from my understanding, you're a current student yourself. What are some of the leadership opportunities you've been afforded that allow you to develop the skill sets that you currently have, and how do you see moving forward more young people like yourself should be afforded various professional development opportunities as well when it comes to the climate change movement in general?
So I think my personal experience is to never sell yourself short. So personally, I have a science background and I wasn't an engineer, but I'm fascinated by renewable energy, I'm fascinated by biofuels, and so instead of being discouraged and not wanting to get involved, I pursued engineers on my campus and tried to show them what I could help provide in order to get a grant on campus. So University of South Florida has the Student Green Energy Fund, so we have $1 million annually that's generated to help promote and produce renewable energy projects on campus. So I approached the team of engineers and I said, let me try to see what I can do to help make this a reality, and within a year we got a $200,000 grant, and now our university has a supercritical biodiesel plant that produces biodiesel from all of the campus grease. So don't think that if you don't have the necessary tools to do something, find a way that make yourself valuable to contribute still, basically, is what I think I realized. And so by applying myself to that, I kind of got a lot of project management experience and realized that I can still play a vital role in beyond just the basic environmental sciences, but in a whole international nexus and a climate policy nexus. And so then from there I kind of took it the next step and I went to the United Nations, which was kind of a big step, but I wanted to get involved in the more international community because we can do a lot locally, we can do a lot domestically, but getting involved in the international community is a huge step forward in sort of gaining climate consensus. So I went to the UN and I spent 4 months with the United Nations Economic Commissions for Europe's Sustainable Energy Division doing renewable energy policy review, reviewing which policies are the most effective in translating to expedited renewable energy deployment. And it was a great experience. I got to learn about developing communities and what they're doing to transition to cleaner energy systems. And so basically all the data that I used came from this agency that I now work for, which is how I found out about this agency. And went back to the States. I missed Europe, I missed the international community so much that I found an opportunity here at IEA. And now I'm here at IEA representing IEA at COP and working on climate change policy review.
And last but not least, David, I mentioned to you, you had a chance to read over the 20 million by 2025 goal. What is your perspective on that?
I think it's essential. I think it's absolutely essential that whether or not a student is going to directly pursue a career in climate change, in policy, in environmental stewardship, that I think that it's just as essential as learning your basic math, so that they should know that their carbon footprint, they should know their impact on the world in their communities. They should understand where their energy comes from. They should understand where their trash goes when it leaves their front door. They should understand the water resources. I mean, we live in Florida. We know water is essential, and it can be a huge problem. So it's essential to know that all the things that we do to turn on a light, that turn on the faucet, how that gets there, and what the impacts occur. So I think it's absolutely essential.
Well, thank you very much for your time. This is Jomar Floyd. We're reporting live here at COP21. I'm signing off.
Thank you.
You're welcome.